I really quickly just want to end this episode by talking about another kind of strange story that happened over the weekend, and this is the Astroworld in Houston, Texas festival, where Travis Scott, disclaimer, probably my favorite rapper, was the headliner there. Dang, I'm thinking about it now. Like, it's really not been a good week for for people I'm a fan of. Aaron Rodgers, Travis Scott, both negative light in the news. I'm gonna have to find new stars to like, I guess. But basically, I'm going to keep this fairly brief because I'm not an expert on this stuff, but on crowd control or music festivals. But I watched a documentary called Woodstock 99, and it was about that attempt to remake Woodstock in the late 90s that turned into basically angry young white men starting riots and trying to burn down the whole place. There was a few deaths, a lot of sexual assaults, dehydration, hospitalizations. It just turned into just a chaotic evening. And I like remember at the end of that documentary they mentioned how with COVID ending, hopefully there's not any other issues like this at a music festival where shit just hits the fan, basically. And this is different than the Woodstock 99 thing, but in Astroworld, from what I've gathered, it looks like crowd control failed, and basically this just maxed out venue turned into just this wave of people moving. Look up videos of those giant festivals. If you're in the middle of one of these crowds, the crowd's just moving, and you have no control over what you're doing. And it looks like this happened, and then people ended up getting crushed. People had no control over how to get out of there, and it looks like it went from just fun dancing to total chaos. And I believe it was 8 people died so far, and dozens were injured. Really a tragedy. I mean, there's kids, like there was a 14-year-old who died. Not a great night, and to me there's just so many things you could say here. I mean, Travis Scott is getting criticized because when he came on stage, there was clearly by the end ambulances coming and he kept going. He could have tried to quell the chaos or stop the show, and he didn't. To me, that brings up a lot of questions about what is the responsibility of an artist there. I would say he probably should have paused and said, hey guys, stop, this is crazy, we need to slow this down, because I mean there were people getting crushed into the front. Obviously people died, and I think you do have the responsibility to stop the show. Now, I think this is on the venue though. Usually you try to divide up the actual venue so people can't get to the front, so they're kind of siphoned off. There's different sections, because what happened here is it looks like it was just a giant chaotic free-for-all that went bad. And that is on the venue. That's totally a crowd control issue. Now, I've also seen reports that Drake was there and him and Travis Scott were kind of riling up the crowd. I mean, that is normal in concerts. You do rile up the crowd. That's kind of the whole point, especially if you're kind of pump up trap rap and that stuff,